Good evening. What today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Update for Wednesday, the 22nd. All right, let's go. Well, kind of an ugly day in the portfolio. It's amazing. You look at the charts, it doesn't look that ugly. But boy, you look at the equity. And this is a problem that I sort of alluded to, I think it was in last week's Week of Charts. Ed Sakota was speaking to us at a meeting, probably 10 years ago. But anyway, he said he no longer ran money because the equity curves were getting so big the clients couldn't take it. It was the same percentage wise as it was earlier in the fund, but as the counts grew, they got bigger and bigger. And I think that's one of the good problems, so to speak, to have. But kind of an ugly day, make no bones about that. As far as setups, still like this USAR and the rare earths. Also like this Hive, which is crypto related stock. In fact, let's take a look at those right now. Crazy Landry list, huh? This is the most I've seen in a long time. Some of these quantum computings, or whatever you want to call those stocks, are catching my eye. I guess quantum computing is the correct term. This one's kind of interesting if you're looking for more to do. I always call it rigatoni. I've got a client named Tony that trades it. Anyway, RGTI looks interesting too if you're looking for more exposure. We might go after some more setups in here really soon. But anyway, for now, let's go with USAR, and then also let's go with Hive, HIVE, as official setups. As usual, make sure you wait for entries. On some of these, you might want, if you're a little more aggressive, that is, you might want to keep an eye out for an opening gap reversal like this QBTS. So should we have a nice little gap lower, could be a nice opening gap reversal type of play. Let's take a look at the portfolio, and then we'll pop out to the overall market and drill down a little bit. ABCL coming in a little, but for the most part, kind of hanging in there at these high levels. You know what I mean? I sure like to break out and not look back for a while. ATAI getting whacked a little, but longer term, it's still in an uptrend. And some of these guys can correct quite a bit and still look pretty good from a chart perspective, at least. Cypher getting whacked a bit. Longer term, again, still in a pretty serious uptrend. KGC getting whacked, obviously. Gold got whacked overall. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. Make sure you honor your stops on this one. It's been a pretty good ride, and as you know, momentum always ends badly eventually, but I hate to use the word hope, but hopefully we'll survive this correction. It'll be short-lived, and they'll be back to the business. They'll be back to the business of making some new highs. KYTX tried to rally but came back in. Still looks pretty good, though, hovering around these high levels. Again, anything over 760 or so, feel free to lock and load early on that one. NUAI getting whacked. You knew we were due. This thing has melted up as of late, but it started coming off of its worst levels nicely by the end of the day. So let's see how that shakes out. Obviously, honor your stops just in case. It's really hard to survive a first correction in something that goes straight up like this. It's a good problem to have, but usually you get knocked out when they have a deep correction. So here comes that word hope again. Hopefully we have survived this little correction here. In fact, just look at the chart. This thing could actually correct even more deeply. I mean, forget about percentages. Just look at how far it's ran and then how far it could correct on that. It'd still be in an uptrend. TFPM getting whacked with the other metals. So obviously you want to honor your stops there just in case. Stop me if you heard that before. Let's take a look at the overall market and drill down a little bit. Kind of a tale of two markets. The big caps actually did okay today, or at least remain flat. The P's just right here, just shy of all-time high, so they're hanging in there for the most part. NASDAQ off a little bit, but not too bad. It too just off of all-time highs. Rusty 2000, a little bit more indicative of what happened internally, at least with some of the more speculative issues. You can see it got hit a little, but off its worst levels by the end of the day. Gold got hit hard, obviously, and so far, that just looks like a knockout type of move, and that's the thing. When a sector's been on a tear like that, you can see a little bit of it can have quite a bit of a correction and still be an uptrend. Gold stocks getting absolutely annihilated in here. Look at that, down 9%, almost 9.5%. They still look pretty good longer term, but obviously additional weakness would be of concern. So we're going to do what? We're going to honor our stops, right? Biotech off a little, remaining in a pretty serious uptrend though so far for the most part. So good there. Broker deal is still stuck in the range, kind of Flatsville today. Software improved a bit, still has a ways to go to get to brand new highs. So far kind of sideways at best as of late. Longer term, still in a trend, but little toppy sideways and little toppy shorter term and not so short term. Defense coming back nicely, just shy of all-time high. So far, so good, rallying out of a pullback after this nice little base breakout. So that's hanging in there for the most part. Silver like gold getting whacked, as you can see. Bonds are doing pretty good. Look at that up here at multi-month high. So that's certainly a good thing. Kind of a wide and loose and sloppy bottom, but a bottom nonetheless, and that is obviously a good thing. A little bit longer term chart here. Here's a weekly. You can see a little bit easier to see it kind of carving out a longer term bottom. So that's obviously a good thing. Uranium getting hit a little, but still looks pretty good longer term so far. Just pulling back. Utilities just pulling back so far. Pretty good uptrend there. Metals and mining obviously getting whacked a little today, but look at this chart. This still looks pretty good. This actually sets up a trend pivot pullback. I wouldn't get too excited about the gap because this is commodity related stock. Retail still looking a little questionable, but did have an okay day today. Still looks toppy longer term. Kind of inverted cup and handle first thrust type of looks. Probably also a bow tie, just kind of by eyeballing it. But anyway, I think that's it. Sorry I went long tonight. Just had a lot of stuff I wanted to go through. Everybody have a fantastic night. If you have any questions, you know the routine. Thank you so much.